Welcome to Didit. If you're just getting started, this is a quick tour of the whole platform. So by the end, you'll know your way around and find anything on your own. That's the whole platform in one pass. 3 products that follow your customer from the moment they sign up all the way through to ongoing monitoring, every check and every transaction rolling up into one profile, and you can work with all of it here in the dashboard, over on the API, or through an AI tool. If you want to jump in and try it, head to didit.me. You can sign up for free and you can run your first verification in just a couple of minutes. Okay, so this is the first thing that you see when you log in. This is the home dashboard. This is where you're going to do everything in Didit. Build your verification flows, read your results, watch for fraud, handle your billing, and manage your team. So over here on the left, this is the navigation rail, and that's basically the map of the whole platform. So we're going to walk through this together. I'm going to take you through each of the tabs so you know exactly where to go for each of the products and each of the settings inside of Didit. So in the middle that you can see here, this is a live overview of your traffic. So on this side where we see needs review, this is anything that's waiting on a human to make a decision. Over here, we've got recent activity, which is basically a live feed of everything happening across all of the 3 products in real time. So up here, you could see production environment, and this switcher lets you flip between your live app, your sandbox. You can obviously add another application here as well. And down here in the corner, this is where we've got the balance. So you can add your own credits, discounts if you add higher amounts into here. And Didit is pay per success. So you load up your credits and you only get charged when a check actually completes. So that's the home base. We're going to get into all of these different menus and the analytics and the dashboard in this video and later videos. But this is where you're going to be spending most of your time. So before we go any further, the simplest way to think about Didit is really 3 products. They follow the life of your customer. So first you authenticate. So you make sure that they're a real person. Then you verify them, so things like KYC, KYB, biometrics, and AML. Then you monitor them for fraud. Those are the 3 products. We've got user verification, so KYC. We've got business verification, KYB, and then we've got transaction monitoring, which watches the money flow. Just a quick note, wallet and crypto screening aren't a separate product. They live inside the transaction monitoring, which we are going to get into in a lot more depth in other videos. So we've got 3 products, 1 customer lifecycle. So let's dig into the first product, shall we? User verification, or KYC. So we can just tap into this tab here, and you can see every verification that's been run on a person. Each one's called a session. So a single KYC check can bundle a few different things together. Government ID check actually reads the document in any language, not just basic text scanning. We've got the liveness selfie. We've got the face match between the 2, the selfie and the ID. And we've also got some background checks, proof of address, email verification, device and IP, all of this stuff. So you could see here the icons, and these represent the checks that happen inside of this workflow that you could see tagged here. So right now you could see we've got multiple statuses in this window. If we go back to the homepage, we could see all of these need review. If we click view all, and we go over back to the verifications tab, we can see that it's added the filter, right? So if we want to add a filter for in review, we want to set a specific date range, we can do all of that in this dashboard. Wherever somebody gets tagged in review, this means that the system can't auto decide. So this means we need a human on your team, someone in compliance, someone in your review team to actually come along and check out why this person was flagged for in review. And the second a decision is made, it's also pushed straight to your own backend by webhooks. So your entire system knows instantly when someone has passed or is in review. So we're going to get into reading a full result in another video, but the short version, KYC confirms a real person. So let's get into KYB, so business verification. So this one confirms a company instead of a person. It checks the business against official registries. It maps out who actually owns it, so the beneficial owners and the officers, and it can run an identity check on each of those owners, all in one session. So as you can see here, we've got the registry check, just like we saw in the user verifications. We've got these icons here that represent each of the checks that happen inside of a specific workflow. And don't worry, we're going to get onto workflows in a minute. So you end up with the company's details, the key people getting verified, and all the supporting documents in one place. We're going to build a full KYB workflow end-to-end in another video, but for now, KYB verifies the company and the real people behind it. Let's take a look at the transaction monitorings tab. Here, this is the third product, and this is the fraud detection side of Didit. So verifying someone at signup only really covers them for the verification on day one. This part runs continuously after a user or business has onboarded and been verified. So you can see here, we've got some payments declined, some approved. And again, we've got the filters section here at the top, and we can click this button. It's going to automatically apply the filter to include all of the transactions that are in review. So you send each payment over to Didit, and a real-time rule engine scores it and opens a case if something looks off. So it works for anything that moves money, so fiat or crypto. And remember that wallet and crypto screening is built right in here. I'm not going to get into too much detail in this video. I'm just giving you an overview of each of these individual products. So if you go back to the home page, you can notice the transaction flow in the same activity feed as your verifications. So you can see here, we've got transaction, we've got KYB, KYB. So everything runs through in this recent activity panel here on your homepage. Listen, there's a lot more under the hood here, but the point is simple. Didit watches money movement in real time right next to identity. Let's look at the directory tab at the top here. Let's go into users. So here's where everything ties together. We're going to look into the directory. I'm going to check out the users, and everything we just looked at, the verifications and the transactions, all of it rolls up here into one profile per person. So you can see here, we've got a person here. You can see the checks that they've gone through. One session, we've got the country, and we have their user ID. So each row is one individual. You've got their name, you've got the country, and Didit stacks up everything that person has ever done under this one single profile. You can see these little green icons here, like you saw in the verifications and the KYB. These are all the checks that they've passed at a glance. So you can see we've got ID verification, the liveness, the face match, the device and IP analysis. And this number here is every session stacked up under that one person. You can see just one session for this particular profile. You're also going to see the vendor data value. So when we open up a profile, you also see a vendor data value. And that's the idea that your system sends across when it creates a session. So in this case, it is an email address, but it can be a random number that's unique to this person. In this account, it's an email, but it can be any stable ID that your system uses. And below it is Didit's own internal ID for this profile. So the vendor data is the key that ties everything together. So every session that comes in with the same vendor data lands under this same person. Okay, so let's head over to the business directory. That's where your verified companies roll up in exactly the same way, one profile per company. So every person in every business carries a single status: active, flagged if something needs a look at, like an AML hit, or blocked. Over in the business directory, when we click on a business, you're going to get their complete profile. So we've got the overview, profile, the verifications, transactions, payment methods, documents, devices, location, cases, activity. Everything is here under this one business entity, because their verifications and their money all live under the same profile. So a payment gets judged against who the person actually is. So this is how Didit can catch things that disconnected tools just can't, like the same device showing up across accounts, sudden spikes in activity, or whole networks of linked people. So one profile gives you the full fraud picture. Let's go back to the home dashboard and check out some more of these tabs down here. So down at the bottom of the rail, there are two sections where you set Didit up. So we've got the configure tab here, and we've got the manage tab. So configure is everything that your users will see and experience. So that's workflows, so where you build your verification flows, customization for your branding, questionnaires for any custom questions, and lists for your allow and block lists. And don't worry, we're going to get into these in other videos. But just a little preview here in the customizations tab, you can actually see how this verification flow looks and how you can customize it. So the second panel here on the left is manage, and this is how Didit connects to your own app. So that's where you integrate it, you grab your API keys, you set up your webhooks, so results get pushed to you, and it's also where you handle your team and pull your reports. We're going to spend whole videos inside both of these tabs later on, but for now, configure builds the experience and manage connects it to your product. So the last thing I want to talk about here is back on the homepage, we can actually build our own dashboard. So the cool thing here is we can actually add cards however we want. So these widgets, demographics, conversion rate, the locations, we can add them, we can drag and drop, we can move them around. We've got these filters here. We can filter by different date ranges. We can also look at the performance of specific workflows, and we can see all of that in this customizable dashboard below. So the last thing to note is that everything that I've just walked you through, so creating sessions, building workflows, reading results, changing a status, all of that you can also do in code. So you can grab an API key under the Manage tab here on the left, and the whole platform is yours over a simple API. So you can build your own dashboards, you can automate anything without ever logging in to this dashboard. You do all of that inside of Codex or Claude Code, also with the MCP server. So we're going to get into that in another video, but that is the dashboard at a glance. And there's another way to work with Didit on top of that. It has an MCP server with over 100 tools, which lets AI assistants like Claude, Cursor, and Codex work with it directly. So you can use Didit right here in the dashboard, in your own code, or straight from an AI tool.